How's it guys, Munash here, and today we have the 9th war of season 24. And I was looking forward to this one because A, no apocalypse boss, and B, I got to do part 7 in section 2 for the first time. But I still fought an apocalypse on part 7, which is why I brought Warlock. Actually, I brought Warlock more for the Havok on that path. So today I'm going with Warlock, Doom, and Hyperion because we are going to cheese the hell out of a Stunning Reflection Warlock a bit later. But first, we're gonna start on part 5 where we have a Stealth Suit Spider-Man with Ebb and Flow Knockdown and Power Drain. So this fight isn't really that specific. I could have used any of my 3 champs for it. So I'm just going with Doom because he is the tankiest of the 3. But either way, it's a relatively easy fight. He is quite the pipsqueak, only has about 93,000 health. So it really shouldn't take long. So I go in and the first thing I want to do is just bait the evade. Now that that's out the way, it's a very basic fight. Just want to make sure that I make him not throw the special 1, which is why I'm spazzing out with Doom right now. I'm gonna throw a special 1 at the perfect time so I disable Ebb and Flow just after it comes back. Disabling it once again, then I get 2 balls of power, throw a special 2, Fat incinerates, 1 or 2 more combos, evade comes back but I parry him, 2 more hits and he goes down. That's some pretty decent crit RNG at the end there, and now we're gonna move on to Nova with Ebb and Flow Knockdown and Heavy Hitter. So another pretty good matchup for Doom. I've taken Nova here a couple of times now. He's probably the second most common placement after Havok of course, and I do find Nova a lot easier because you can use Doom and Doom can just knock you down very easily with that heavy attack. And of course there's other stuff working in his favor like class advantage, buffs, and Nova just being an absolute sissy. Like, I was a little bit disappointed in this champ because he's just so much better in the comics, but I know I shouldn't be using the source material as a reference for how strong some of these champs will be. But that's MCOC for you. I mean, I spoke about this in the previous war video when I was fighting Annihilus. So yeah, at least Nova looks cool. In terms of animations, not really a fan of the whole costume design. I mean, maybe because he looks like he has a starfish stuck on his face. I'm just not into that. Oh, and I got caught by the special 1, just dexed it slightly too early. Not really a big deal though, I only lost about 5% health because Doom's a tank who you just can't crit against with most champs. That crit resistance is a little bit underrated. I think it's the highest base in the game, and it's not even close. That's why I often use Doom for these generic or simple fights where I don't really need a specific counter for them. Doom is such an absolute unit that I can even take Ebb and Flow intercept Rhino and actually intercept him, take a couple of hits, and I'll be fine. You know, I won't take that much damage because he just can't crit. So Nova goes down, pretty simple stuff with Doom, and now we're gonna move on to Kingpin with Steady Buildup Fury, Heavy Handed, and Power Alternator. So this is a fight that I would have liked to use Hyperion for, but Power Alternator would make the fight a lot more difficult because Hyperion does have that passive power gain. I mean, it's not a passive, it's a buff, but he gains the buff passively. Yeah, you know what I mean. Point is, it just makes the fight more difficult because he's gonna steal your power sometimes, and if you're not good at dexing the special 2, then that could be a problem. Even if you are good at dealing with it, he will still go unstoppable after that. So ideally, you just don't want him to throw it. Just bait special 1 and punish. And try to avoid getting your power alternated when you have more than 2 bars. So I went with Doom because he's just really good for power control, so I won't have to worry about power alt that much. The only thing is the damage won't be that good in this fight. But also I think I had a bad loop of power alts, like I was sort of stuck in limbo where basically I was never able to throw the special 2 and I didn't need to use a special 1. So I was just in this weird grey area where I was like, oh man, my power's gone again, now I can't really do much with this fight, and it's so annoying. Usually when I say a fight is annoying or there's something annoying about the fight, it's because it's difficult or there's something that makes the fight a bit more tricky. But in this fight, it wasn't actually that difficult, it was just genuinely annoying. Like, it irritated me how my power kept on switching before I could use it. Although I could have played it a little bit better because I didn't really utilize holding block in this fight to prevent him from throwing those special attacks, and I probably should have because at least then the power would have alternated at the right time. Or it wouldn't have alternated because I would have had less power than him. Then I could have used the special 1, steal his power, and then throw some special 2s. The other thing is, he was very eager to throw the special 1, like I didn't actually really have to try to bait it because he would just throw it whenever he could. Like sometimes he would just throw it as soon as he gets that bar of power. So that was kind of irritating. It's almost like he knew that there was power out in this fight, so he just kept on spamming that special 1. and then steal my power and just carry on. So it felt like I was fighting a Kingpin with special 1 bias or oscillate, which was quite irritating. Cause I already don't like fighting Kingpin, and even more so after the buff. I feel like he's like 15% more annoying now. But I mean, any champ who can regularly struggle with your debuffs isn't really fun to fight against. But otherwise, this is not really a difficult fight. I just played it pretty safe and just kept on baiting the special 1 and then punishing after that, dropping basic combos. Then I finally managed to get 2 bars of power and drop a special 2 towards the end without pushing him to 2 bars of power himself. So now he's about to go down, just need to drop 1 more combo and that should be it. So yeah, a bit of a long fight, not very fun, pretty boring actually, but not difficult. You just need a bit of patience. Okay, so now we're done with section 1 and I'm gonna apply some boosts for Warlock. So I'm going with champion boost, health boost and some tech boosts. Because now we're going on to part 7. A part I haven't done before, so I thought this might be interesting. So first we have a Havok with Spite and Powerful from Afar. So despite having the armor buff, which basically means permanent Spite, Warlock still works pretty well for this fight. However, it is advised to use an invulnerability boost just in case, you have to take a special 3. And I did have to take one in this fight, mainly because this guy is not running willpower, so I wasn't able to power drain him as much as I thought I would. So I go in with Warlock and you can see he's gaining power fairly quickly already from the start of the fight, just from Spite. So now ideally I want him to throw the special 2 and fortunately it does, and I get hit by it and I have no idea why or how. I'm not sure what happened, because even during that fight I was like stunned. I was shocked that it actually happened, because I'm pretty sure I dexed it, but apparently not. Maybe the game just didn't register it, but yeah, it was just very weird for me to get hit in that situation. Then I drop a special 2 and get most of my power back, almost enough to chain it, but then I dash back trying to bait the special 2, but he doesn't throw it and gets 3 bars of power, so now I have to take a special 3. I suppose I should have parried there instead of trying to bait the special 2 by dashing back. Maybe I would have gotten the fight done without taking a special 3 if I did that. But yeah, I wasn't really worried about it because I still have the invulnerability boost. I think I have 2 more hits left, so I should be fine taking this R3. So after that, I just had to drop my own special 2 and that takes him out. And that was pretty satisfying, just watching Warlock gain back all that power from all those hits on the special 2. So a pretty good matchup for Warlock, and now we're gonna move up to this Big Daddy Polka. Although he's not looking very big or fatherly today because he's not on the boss node. So today we're just gonna take him with Aspect of Evolution and Kinetic Transference. So I go in with Warlock and the first thing I do is parry him, and this actually felt a bit weird for me because I'm not used to parry stunning him, because I usually fight him on the boss nodes, be it an Alliance Quest or Alliance War, so actually parry stunning him felt a bit odd, like it kind of threw me off. Then I realized that, oh wait, I can do that now because he's not a boss. So now Warlock isn't exactly the best for this fight in terms of damage because there is Aspect of Evolution. So you notice that I took the first 45% fairly quickly, but then the rest of the fight took much longer because at that stage I wasn't able to crit anymore, just due to Aspect of Evo increasing his crit resistance every time he fills a bar of power. So for this fight I would have much preferred having a champ with good power control like Magic, although she would trigger Protect with the special 2, but not a big issue since you can just intercept, and her classic playstyle relies a lot on backdraft intercepting. Otherwise I would have used someone with good damage over time, like maybe Human Torch with the Flame on, or one of the Abominations. Warlock does apply a bleed with his heavy attack, but a Polka does become immune to that eventually, so not really that useful in this fight. I could have used more special 2s in this fight, but I decided to save for the special 3, just for some security, like if I were to find myself in a sticky situation where maybe he has 3 bars of power for some reason, because Aspect of Evo also increases his combat power rate, so eventually he's gonna get a full bar of power from just one 5-hit combo. And there's also Kinetic Transference, which means that he can gain power whenever I parry. So just in case I were to accidentally do that, at least I'll have a special 3 ready to power drain him. But as the fight progresses, I just get a bit more confident, so I throw the special 3 just to do a bit more damage, because now I can build a special 2 and get those armor breaks. So one nice thing about the node combination in this fight is that it makes baiting the special 2 a lot easier, if you struggle with the special 1 more. So not a bad fight with Warlock, just a bit long and boring. In fact, I'm so over it that I'm gonna do this. And he goes down. And that's the power of video editing, baby. Alright, now we get to the most exciting part of the war. My last two fights were actually really fun because I got to bully some champs with Hyperion and Warlock. So today we're going right as usual, and first up I have a Gladiator Hulk, aka Hulk Ragnarok, aka Gulk, aka Sissy Hulk, and he has Recovery, Indomitable, and Vigorous Assault. So this is kind of an odd placement to a certain extent because Vigorous Assault only works with regen buffs, which he doesn't have. He only gets the passive ones. So that node can be ignored in this fight. So basically it's just Recovery and Indomitable, which make no difference if you're using Warlock, who actually is a pretty popular option for this fight since he has that passive heal block. And he's Exile, so he can deal with Protect pretty well. So it's almost like he has no nodes. So I dropped that first special 2 with Warlock, and his power is getting drained like mad. Now he throws a special 1, and I had to wait because he has the smash on. After it expires, I go back in, build to another special 2, and this time I'm going to chain the heavy to it because his power will be low enough that he can't actually throw a special attack. Doesn't have 1 bar of power, so I can chain the heavy to that, get 1 heavy, get another heavy, a 3rd heavy, go for a 4th heavy, but stand your ground kicks in, so I back off. So now I'm just going to build to another special 2 and do the exact same thing. He triggers regen, but I have infection, so makes no difference from him. So yeah, this Hulk was just completely powerless throughout this fight. It felt like he had no abilities whatsoever. All he could do was trigger smash once or twice, but he never actually smashed anything. He only got smashed himself because Warlock just completely dominates this fight. Speaking of Warlock, now we're actually gonna fight a rank 3 Warlock with Stunning Reflection, Polka Dot Power, and Stun Vulnerability. And this fight right here might just be my favorite fight of the season so far, because we just completely demolished this Warlock. Like, we kind of ruined this placement for future Warlocks, I feel. Like, the Council of Warlocks are gonna get together to basically have a ruling to ban or boycott this placement after the trauma that this one poor little Warlock had to experience today. So right now I'm just throwing special 1s for the Incinerate so I can parry and drop some heavy attacks while I build to the special 3. But I am gonna have to bait his special 2 first, and he took his sweet time to throw it. All he's doing is dropping medium attacks, and now I have 3 bars of power, still waiting for the special 2 to be thrown. And now I'm getting a little bit irritated because where was this AI when I was fighting Kingpin earlier? Huh? Where was it? But eventually he does throw it, so I punish with the heavy attack, but I'm a little bit too far. So I need to drop it slightly early so I can punish with the second hit before he can punish me. Okay, so drop a special 3, get the perfect bonus, do the whole Superman thing. Alright, now we have the Cosmic Charges, which means more power gain, more damage, more masculinity. So now I just have to wait for the special 1, and in the meantime I'm just gonna bait his special 1, get that 1 bar of power, and now the real fun begins. So for the rest of the fight, all I'm gonna do is dash back, hold block, and throw special 1. That is literally it. I'm not gonna dash forward, I'm not gonna throw any other special attack, I'm not gonna bait a special attack. I'm just gonna bully this Warlock and end his whole career. And this mechanic is what I love about Hyperion. While it's one of the things, just the combination of the power gain, that really potent power gain, and the special 1 having 6 hits but only the first one makes contact and the other 5 apply that Incinerate, which is really good for getting around a lot of nodes and abilities that might damage you on contact, such as Thorns, Corks, Electros, etc. And the power gain just makes it so spammable. And in this fight there's also Polka Dot Power, which is giving me even more power when I have the Incinerates on him. And I had a lot of Incinerates on him. In fact, since I started the special 1 spam, I had a 1 second downtime on Incinerates. So he was pretty much melting throughout the fight. Then there's the power control aspect of it, and I know Hyperion doesn't have any actual power controlling abilities, but that special 1 gives the opponent so little power while doing a good amount of damage, which is why he only threw 2 special attacks in this entire fight, a special 1 and a special 2, whereas I threw, I don't know, at least 10 special attacks. Okay, I'm going overtime on this fight, and there's still a few more things I could mention, like what happens if you get a special 2, then you have to use a special 3 if reflection isn't down. But yeah, a pretty fun fight with Hyperion and a pretty fun war overall. We did win this one. In fact, Group 3 had a perfect war, so no deaths. Pretty happy about that. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.